this one's going to be a bit subdued, mostly because it is incredibly late, but also because the Columbus Blue Jackets are officially out of the playoffs. That's the first time I've said it out loud, and man, that sucks. But we have 4 games to talk about, so let's do this. First game of the week, the Jackets lost 2-3 in double overtime. Dubois and Panarin both scored for the Jackets, but we just could not manage to hold it together during the second overtime. And a dumb mistake led to the Capitals' Lars Eller scoring the final goal of the game. There are actually a ton of dumb mistakes in this game. I rewatched the highlight pack for this one before I wrote this. And if you ask me, the Jackets outplayed the Caps, but just dumb mistakes that led to dumb things happening. So I think this game and also Game 5 were just our best games. We just lost because of little missteps or dumb luck. But next, Game 4, the Jackets lost 4-1, and it was just terrible. Boone Jenner scored the only Jackets goal of the game, and my thoughts on this game are just generally, it would be nice to get the occasional save. Because Bob did make some good saves. I will admit that I am a little bit judgmental here, but also he let in some garbage goals. Between this game and the next, Alexander Wennberg was practicing with the team fully again, and he came back, and Torts said that he adds balance to the lineup and allows him to go with lines he's more comfortable with. But unfortunately, that comfort was not enough for the Jackets to win Game 5 on Saturday. They lost 3-4 in overtime. Matt Calvert was the Jackets MVP, which is something that I would not have thought I'd be saying if you would ask me in, say, February. He was honestly maybe the MVP for the entire series. He scored a shorthanded goal in the first and got a frankly very fun-looking goal in the second. The Jackets' final goal was scored by Bjorkstrand with a secondary assist by Wennberg, so that was pretty nice. If I was going to say we lost any of the games due to dumb luck, it would be this one. So many things just went wrong in just the right way for the Jackets this game. It was just super unfortunate, and overtime killed us yet again. And then our final game last night now, as I'm recording this at 1:01 a.m., our final game of the series and our final game of the season. Your Columbus Blue Jackets lost 3-6 to the Capitals. Nick Foligno scored twice, Pierre-Luc Dubois scored once. He gave up a power play goal and a shorthanded goal, and it sucks. The Jackets did not win a single playoff game in Nationwide Arena. We weren't able to complete the comeback in this one because Holtby was just too good and the Jackets just were not. The Columbus Blue Jackets are officially the last team in the NHL to never have won a playoff series, have still never played a playoff game where they've given up less than 3 goals, and are officially done with the 2017-2018 season. Man, what a year. Here's some final thoughts on the series, and honestly the season in general, because I don't think I'm going to make another video until draft day. Oliver Bjorkstrand was not used enough. This one is pretty much 100% about the playoffs, because I really was not tracking his usage during the season. But Oliver Bjorkstrand has been a fantastic player. He's been consistently dynamic for Columbus. And before that, he literally helped lead Lake Erie to a Calder Cup, which Torts had said is really important that these boys had experience going through 4 series. And yet, he barely let him play. He had 2 goals and assists this playoffs. And his longest ice time of the playoffs was Game 5, replayed exactly 11 minutes and 8 seconds. He did not play more than 10 minutes a night, I don't think, any other night. On that note, in general, I was baffled and upset that Tortorella didn't play his 4th line. The Jackets had at least 2 players with 10 minutes a game in all the games, but generally the entire 4th line played less than 10. Game 3 went on for almost 90 minutes, and while everyone else was hovering around 25 minutes of time on ice, Milano, Bjorkstrand, and Letestu all played less than 10. That's ridiculous. Tortorella said later on that he didn't really think of lines that much, that he matched based on situation, not just based on line matching. But you've got to be able to trust all your lines. The Jackets have got to make changes this offseason based on making sure we can build a team with 4 strong lines if we seriously want to be cup contenders. On the note of making changes this offseason, our power play and penalty kill have got to be better. We lost so many goals to the Washington power play, and we wasted so many power plays, not only in the series, but all season long. It is obnoxious, and we have got to fix it. Whether that means getting a new coach or picking up another power play specialist, because Cam and Brad cannot hold the entire power play on their shoulders. Cam, of course, is a newer introduction to that. He was really not around. So basically, Panarin cannot hold the entire power play. As Aaron Portzline said in this week's Athletic Question and Answer, a team cannot live on bread alone. And Panarin said that he could definitely feel increased pressure about the power play placed directly onto him as the series went on. We just can't do that to him. We cannot Rick Nash another player. But in a, lighter vein, a positive vein, we now know the playoffs are not entirely the problem for Bob. He let in some soft goals, and I would have loved a couple more saves, but it's nothing like what we've expected and seen with the Penguins. It might be a bit of a pressure cooker situation, but he definitely wasn't the top reason we lost this series. He, in fact, I would say, not even the top 5. And I'd argue that when he was having problems, a lot of that could have been placed a little bit on our defense, because no one except for Seth Jones looked really good out there. Marcus Nunavara and Murray and Ian Cole all had some really good moments, but come on. Of course, this means that Bob still has that Penguins mental block, and from his post-game comments yesterday, it seems like he has no intention to see a sports psychologist again this summer, which, fine, it's his choice. But I guess I just wish that he'd acknowledge that sometimes when the pressure is up, he chokes a bit, and maybe a sports psychologist would be able to help with that. And in that, right on to the next thing, if Bob can't put up next season, I can't imagine the Jackets being able to justify giving him the $10 million a year that everyone is expecting him to ask for, because that's what Carey Price is making, and he's a good goaltender. We have one more year of this affordable Bob, so let's hope that we can milk it for all it's worth, and that he can come through when it counts, when we're playing against other Metro teams in the regular season, or when we're playing in the playoffs. But if he doesn't, then let's hope that he takes a discount, or that Joonas Korpisalo is ready for a much bigger role in the team. To back up a little bit regarding defensemen, Zach Werenski is injured, and it was super clear during this series. He's been playing banged up since at least December, and it's gotten really obvious in the past 2 months. So now the question is, just how injured is he? I've heard shoulder, ribs, and hip in the past week. So, yeah, what is the injury? How injured is it? Does he need surgery? And how much injury can we reasonably take? Will we be wrecked by him being out? If he has to get surgery and can't come back immediately next season, will we take a serious hit? And if so, what needs to happen to our D? Because, if you ask me, we either need to acquire more defensemen that are actually NHL ready and actually NHL caliber, or Murray needs to stay healthy, Nunavara needs to continue to grow, and Johnson and Savard need to get better or get out. And if we sign Ian Cole, then, he also needs to be good. But we'll see whether or not we end up getting him back. On a somewhat related note, nominations for the NHL awards are coming out. Bob is a Jackets King Clancy nominee. Seth Jones was shockingly and confusingly not a finalist for the Norris. He was fantastic this year, literally a game changer for the Jackets, and generally is just an amazing defenseman. I personally believe that his exclusion from Norris finalists was a snub. There was also some talk about Dubois not getting that Calder nom, but I didn't think he was going to get that anyway, so that was more expected. I guess to go back to some positives, though, the bar has been raised. Rob Mixer said that tonight, and I think, people have been saying it all season, but to really go in depth on that, in 2013, the Jackets went 6 games with the Penguins, and everyone was thrilled just to see us go that far. We played the top of the Metro Washington Capitals, who have been the top of the Metro, I think, since like November. 6 games. Over half of them went to overtime, and most of them were decided by a single goal. And people are pissed. Nick Foligno, captain of our team, said, "I'm tired of learning," when asked about what the series taught him, instead of just spitting pure rhetoric about us being new to this whole playoff thing. And that's a culture shift. It's not just the players expecting more out of themselves, though we do need that. It's Jackets fans looking at this season and saying, alright, but good isn't good enough. It's looking at the Jackets and saying, it's ridiculous that we've never been a playoff game where we let in less than 3 goals. It's ridiculous that we've never had 3 wins in a series. It's ridiculous that we only have 5 playoff wins to our name. And it is unacceptable that we are the only team in the NHL without a series win. So yeah, this sucks, and I wish we were still playing. But the bar is up, and that is something to look forward to. And with that, I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If this is your first episode, or if you've been following me all season long, thank you. My name is Lydia. This is Cannon Fire, and I'd like to close out with something from Nick Foligno. On Saturday, he was quoting Thomas Vanek, but he said, "We're the Blue Jackets. We don't do things easy. We do it the hard way." The Jackets have not been good. I will admit that I have not been super into the Jackets for a long time. I know a lot of longtime fans, people who have been here for 17 seasons or more, are tired of the "we're young and next year" mantra that keeps being pushed. But this is the first time ever that the Jackets have led a series. The first time we've made it into the playoffs in 2 consecutive years. Matt Calvert currently holds the Jackets' record for career playoff points, and he has 10. The rhetoric is tiring, I get it, and I agree, but we are so young, and we have been bad for so long. Things have to change. We should expect change, and the Jackets need to do better and deliver on these next year promises. But I have said it before, and I will say it again. Our window is just opening. We're the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we have never, ever done things the easy way. We have always kicked and clawed and fought and struggled, and we will keep doing so. And that's what I love about this team. The heart, the fighting spirit, and I wholeheartedly believe it when I say that I am so incredibly proud of this team and what we managed to do this season. The hockey gods gave us injury and underperformance, and at least 2 months where we were held aloft purely by the performances of Jones, Dubois, Panarin, and Bob. And we overcame. We made it to the playoffs. We finished out the season doing really, really well. We're the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we're young, and we're dumb, and it's hard, but we're going to be great.